At this time, the neutral clowns brought bad news to inform the boss Yuki. Yuki lamented that this time he had indeed suffered heavy losses, losing too much military power. He felt that he had miscalculated and underestimated the demon lords. Laplace stood up to take the blame, but also criticized Clayman for being too weak. So Footman, who values his friends very much, angrily punched him. The two were about to exchange techniques when Kazalim had to intervene. If you don't remember, this elf is the demon lord Kazalim who died and was resurrected. They also received information that Clayman's base was lost in just one night. All the capital and military power they had saved were there. The scary thing is that Tempest only sent a few of Rimuru's subordinates there. Yuki decided they would return to the slow development strategy at the beginning, but would also blow a wind to retaliate against that hateful slime. In the holy city of Lobelia, Hinata was thinking about what she had gone through. She had deeply investigated and discovered the true nature of the church she was dedicating herself to. In fact, Pope Lobelia is a vampire named Louis, and is the twin brother of the demon lord Valentine. Hinata, with her skilled swordsmanship, defeated both of them. But just when she thought everything was over, the real demon lord Valentine appeared. She resurrected the two and healed Hinata's wounds. Valentine gave Hinata a week to prepare. If she wins Valentine's favor, Valentine will seriously fight Hinata. The result is that Hinata was defeated miserably. The good news is that Lobelia bans vampires from sucking human blood. They are only allowed to drink a little blood to maintain their vitality. This place also has absolute equality and long-term peace because of the patronage of the supreme vampire. Hinata decided to continue to dedicate herself to protect Lobelia and the church here. Lobelia reported that his younger brother Roy was murdered last night. Although he is just a substitute for Valentine, this guy also has the prowess of a demon lord. So according to Hinata's judgment, the clown she met at that time must have greater power than a demon lord. Through Lobelius's words, Hinata also learned that Rimuru had survived that encounter, but this also brought some advantages to them. Because the great battle with the angels is about to break out, the appearance of a strange country in the Jura Grand Forest will make the western countries unite more. At night, the demon lord Valentine returned from the Valpurgis meeting. Hinata and Lobelia also learned about the resurrection of the storm dragon Veldora and the birth of the new demon lord Rimuru. These two forces allied with each other, causing Valentine a headache. Hinata suggested going to kill Veldora and was immediately scolded by Valentine, because Veldora is not something she can touch. The kingdom of Falmouth on this side is discussing Tempest's request. The king decided to choose the plan to compensate for the war losses with 10,000 star gold, equivalent to 10 million gold coins. The nobles immediately objected and began to blame the king. But before the power of the storm dragon Veldora, they had no way out. Just when the entire meeting was deadlocked, intelligence kept coming. The neighboring kingdom of Bloomend publicly supported Tempest. Rimuru officially became the new demon lord. Demon lord Clayman was killed by Rimuru. Now only 8 demon lords formed the organization called Octagram. And so the great empire of Falmouth signed a ceasefire agreement with the Jura Tempest Federation, officially recognizing Tempest as a complete nation. Spoiler alert for the next episode. Shuna and Sui have returned from Clayman's castle. As soon as they met Rimuru, Shuna rushed to hug him. Behind them were the skeletons, gaping in awe at the scene. Sui introduced this man as the Death Spirit King Adelman and his disciples. Seeing these skeletons evaporating in the sunlight, Rimuru immediately ordered them to be put into the sealed cave. Otherwise, in a few more minutes, they would really go to heaven. The swordsman Haruku stayed at the castle to check the spoils of war and manage the surrendered soldiers there. Benimaru also returned from the battlefield and began to report the post-war situation to Rimuru. The refugees from the Beast Country are being moved to Jura and establishing refugee villages. The remnants of Clayman's army have been captured as prisoners and put into the construction workforce managed by Gerudo. Diablo, after signing the ceasefire agreement, also returned to report, bringing with him a chest of 1,500 pure gold coins, and reported that everything is still going according to plan. The Fairy King Edmaris has abdicated and soon a rebellion will occur because the new king will not abide by the ceasefire agreement and blame all the faults on the Fairy King. That's also when Diablo brings Yum into this war. At this time, Rimuru is only worried about the Western Holy Kingdom. They have an absolute doctrine of not playing with monsters, so it will be very difficult to approach and avoid hostility. Therefore, they first need to maintain a moderate attitude towards them. A few days later, Gabiru also brought the refugees and prisoners of the Beast Country back. Rimuru immediately praised Gabiru, but this lizard suddenly became modest and dared not accept it because he had just been punched by that dragon man. Then Gabiru brought out the letter that Milim sent. It turns out she wants Rimuru to train her chefs to cook better next time. Through Gabiru's words, Milim's country has no concept of cooking at all, and the people show a soulless and cold face when they eat. Indeed, Milim is too miserable, so Rimuru decides next time to help the people there regain their appetite from his delicious dishes. This city is becoming more crowded. People from everywhere are curious to visit this place since the event of Rimuru officially becoming a demon lord. Waiting for the subordinates from everywhere to gather, Rimuru decided to announce that he has officially become a demon lord. Although it's a bit late, surprisingly everyone seemed very happy. Then they looked at the map and recalculated Rimuru's territory, including the entire Jura primeval forest and the other side of the Emeld River. Unfortunately, the residents on the other side of the river have no intention to surrender to Rimuru. For Rimuru, this is also fine. The only problem is, if he continues to welcome all the resident groups, it would be really tiring. So Rimuru decided to organize a festival. All the people in this country can participate, and he will appear before the public to debut. This way it saves time and is formal. Through the festival plan, Rimuru returned to his old work, trying to complete everything to enjoy the festival. At this time, Shina spoke up. It seems that there is someone behind manipulating all the events. Just when Rimuru was attacked by the Holy Sword Hinata, Tempest was also attacked. This is too coincidental. It seems that Clayman is just a pawn in this matter. At this time, Raphael reminded, the fact that all three above are manipulated by one person seems illogical, so it is very likely that there is more than one person behind these things. It seems that Hinata is being manipulated, but Hinata's position in the church is very high. The number of people who can manipulate Hinata is basically very few. Perhaps Hinata is hostile to Rimuru also because she thinks that Rimuru is directly related to the death of Shizue. On this side, Hinata started a meeting between the two main forces of the Pope. Today, they will mainly discuss the issue of the resurrection of the storm dragon Veldora. The video ends here. Remember to subscribe to the channel to watch the latest videos.